Hi creative friends, it's Jane from Sustain My Craft Habit. We can't believe that Easter is just around the corner. In the next couple of weeks we have a bunch of Easter crafts coming up, and today we're starting with these chalky painted mason jars with Easter egg cutouts. They make adorable decor for your spring and Easter decorating as well as gifts. For this project you'll need 3 different sized glass jars, chalky finish paint in shades of yellow, as well as some vinyl or masking tape. Now we used our Cricut Joy to cut out the little Easter eggs from vinyl, but you can also use the PDF template which we have available on the blog, along with some masking tape to cut out the little eggs, which will actually be the parts that will create the cutout on your jar. So using either your Cricut Joy, Cricut Maker, or other cutting machine, and again we have the SVG file for this simple craft on our blog, so you can download that SVG file, upload it to your cutting machine, and then use it to cut out these different sized Easter egg shapes, and then you're going to apply them to your jars. Again, you could use, instead of the vinyl, whichever color you have, we use this gray, which we'll later just basically get rid of. You can also use masking tape or green painter's tape, for example. So we're using transfer tape here to transfer those vinyl egg cutouts onto the mason jar. And so these really small ones fit perfectly on this little jar. And then just carefully press them onto the jar and remove the transfer tape. So again, these Easter eggs are basically there just to keep the negative space on the jars, because later we're going to paint over this with our chalky finish paint. You're going to repeat that with the medium-sized egg and the medium-sized jar, as well as here is the large jar with the large egg. Now, once our vinyl or masking tape, whichever you're using, is securely placed onto your jar, it's time to give it a good coat of chalky finish paint. So this is the lighter yellow that we have here. Painting mason jars really is one of our favorite things to do, especially with the chalky paint, because it really goes on easy, provides great coverage, and dries really quickly, and then it always looks really great in the end. You can choose whether later you're going to distress this or not. We ended up distressing them a little bit, but just give it a good coat of paint, let it dry, and then give it a second coat. So you can see here the smaller jar was painted with a little bit darker yellow paint, and then the third larger jar was painted with 2 coats of white chalky finish paint. Once the paint is completely dry, you want to make sure it's fully dry. You're going to carefully peel off those cutouts. So again, either the vinyl or the tape that you used. And basically that exposes the inside of the jar. So that's our little peekaboo cutout. And I think it's so cute. You can choose to do the eggs on both sides or all 4 sides of the jars. We just did this on the one side, and now removing the vinyl. The thing is, with this type of technique, we have a number of projects that we've done this way that I'll link to in the comments below. We even did really cute Valentine's Day ones like this. You want to use a chalky finish paint or a paint that's specifically made for glass to make sure that it sticks onto it. We've tried this with acrylic paints, and what ends up happening is when you peel off the vinyl, it actually peels off the paint as well, and it doesn't turn out so well. So this is our little jar painted, and it's slightly distressed. And that's what we're doing here with the medium-sized jar. So you're just going to use a little bit of sandpaper, a coarse sandpaper. I think this is about 60 grit, and gently rub off the paint or sand off the paint on kind of the corners of the jar and any raised edges, and it just gives it a little bit more texture and interest. This step is clearly optional, and you can choose just to leave it as it was. But I like how this adds just a little bit more interest to the jars. And there we go. Once you've sanded off a little bit of the paint, be sure to wipe it off with a damp, not wet paper towel, and your jars are ready to go. You can just fill these jars now with treats or with flowers. We happen to have this cute little nest and bird, which really coordinated well, so we place that on top of the jar. And it really adds a cute touch to the finished pieces. You can also add a bit of twine around the neck of the jar or just leave them as is. We hope you like this Easter craft idea. As I mentioned, we'll have a few more coming up this week, so be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Thanks for watching. Bye!